In the name of Allah, our Creator, the Creator of the universe and of everything that's in it, I greet you all, dear viewers, in our Islamic way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, blessings, and mercy be with you all. And I continue with our previous discussions about Islam and science, and I restrict this episode to discuss how science can be taught in the light of the great Islamic civilization. The word science stems from the Latin scientia, which means knowledge. But later on, the term has been restricted to material knowledge alone. This means restricting science to matter, energy, space and time, restricting science to the created beings, plants, animals, and humans, and the rest of the creation, the earth, the moon, the sun, the planets, the solar system, the constellations, and that's how the term science has been restricted to the material aspect of our existence. Although the word actually means any piece of knowledge that can come to the human brain. Yet science has triumphed during the last few centuries due to the fact that science helps scientists to read the laws the Creator has placed in this universe. And applying these laws can make life easier and better, can improve life, can increase its productivity, and hence science has achieved great successes during the last 2 centuries or so. But sadly enough, restricting science in the area of matter, energy, space and time has delimited the vision of science too much, has made science revolve mainly within the touched, seen, and felt parts of that universe. But we know that the universe is infilled with many of the unknowns, many of the unseens. Enough to mention that astronomy, at a climax of its achievements during this century, astronomers claim that all what we see in the wonderful universe around us is probably less than 3% of what's there. And that's why they speak about the black matter, the dark matter, the gray matter, the unseen matter. So we are involved into an ocean of the unknowns, an ocean of the unseens. And that's why scientists limiting themselves to the framework of matter and energy, space and time alone, has actually limited their vision quite a lot. Because of this, science have been highly misused, highly utilized against the interest of humanity at large. And we need to Islamize science. We need to teach science from the Islamic perspective. And when we say this, we don't mean that we actually try to impose Islam on others. We are trying to teach people how a scientist should look at the things he is examining or she is examining. In the area of scientific discovery, unless one believes in the Creator and believes in the fact that everything in the existing universe has been created, one can easily go astray despite the many discoveries he can achieve or she can achieve in the domain he is investigating or she is investigating. So unless you believe in the Creator, unless you believe in the fact that this universe is not eternal, It had a beginning and will definitely have an end. Unless you do that, you can easily go astray, especially in your major conclusions. Because of this, we used to read at the beginnings of books on astronomy or on geology, there is no vestige of a beginning, nor sign for an end. Although this is a completely wrong slogan that wanted to claim the eternity of the universe. Very recently, scientists came to discover that the sun, from which we receive the energy needed for life on Earth, and probably for the existence of the solar system at large, the sun loses out of its own mass in the form of energy 4.6 billion tons every second. And this means that this sun is going to end one day. Simply by diminishing the amount of energy reaching the Earth, life could be seriously affected. So nobody worth his salt can claim today the eternity of the universe, which has been imposed by scientists for quite a long span of time. We see stars being created, and we see stars dying out. We see in between various stages in the life history of a star. So the universe is not eternal. The universe had a beginning, and whichever has a beginning must have an end. So the claim of a steady state universe was a very wrong claim that has led people astray in many of their major conclusions in science. Because of this, we have to establish our scientific studies and scientific education on the basis of the belief in the Creator, who has created this universe through his knowledge, might, and will, and who can annihilate that universe at any moment he wishes, and can resurrect that universe once again. We can see death striking everything in our existence. We can see stars being created, passing through successive stages of their developments, and dying out. We can see humans living and dying, animals living and dying, plants living and dying. So the claim that we are living in a steady state universe was a very wrong claim. Unless we believe that we live in a created universe, created by a great creator who has no parallels, similars, or associates with him, we can easily go wrong in many of our conclusions. Take, for example, the law of conservation of matter and energy. The law is established on the basis of correct observations that neither matter nor energy can be annihilated to nothingness or created out of nothingness. But yet, this is only within the limitations of man. Allah, the Creator, has no limits. His power is above everything in that universe. He can order things to be, and it will be. It will come immediately, without any delay. So we have to believe in the fact that we are living in a created universe, a universe that had a beginning, and that will definitely have an end. And this vast, immense, orderly universe must have a reference point outside it. And the reference point is the Creator. And that Creator, we must exalt him above all his creation. Neither space nor time can delimit his identity. Neither matter nor energy can shape that identity. This Creator has revealed himself to Adam and Eve on the moment of their creation, has sent a large number of prophets and messengers to teach people part of the world of the unseen, to answer the questions that cannot be answered by man. And he has left in his creation many evidences that can support the fact that he is there. The claim which is propagated in the scientific media that man started ignobly and non-speaking and non-worshipping is completely wrong. In all the divine messages that came down to man, Allah has told us that he has taught Adam and Eve on the moment of their creation, who they are, who has created them and sent them into this life, what's for them in this life, and what's for them after this life. Actually, these basic questions crop out in the memory of every human being, young or old, educated or uneducated, with a high status in society or with a low status in the society. And unless they are correctly answered, man can never live peacefully and happily in this world. So man started knowing and believing. To claim that man started ignobly and non-believing is a very wrong conception. And this came out from the arrogance and conceit of some of the scientists. So unless we teach our scientific students that science is modesty, science is knowing your limitations, science is submitting to the Creator who has created you and everything around yourself, who has created this universe and everything that's in it, we can never produce good scientists who are objective in their vision and who are correct in their conclusions. So we have to teach science to young students as well as old ones within the framework of believing in a supreme power to that universe, a supreme power who has created everything, and he was not created, because a creator does not need a creator. A creator has got the capacity to create, and nothing can create him. So we have to believe in a supreme power that has created this universe. And this supreme power has created us for a particular mission in life, to worship him in the way he has prescribed and to be good vicegerents on earth. We will have a short break and then we'll come back to you, inshallah, to continue with this discussion, so bear with us. Welcome back, dear viewers. Before this break, we were talking about the necessity for a scientist to believe in the Creator, to believe in the fact that this vast, immense, orderly universe could not possibly have come into being by an accident or a chance. It needs a creator with enough knowledge, might, wisdom, and power that produced this wonderful universe. And this creator has to be above all his creation. None of his creation looks like him. Neither matter nor energy can shape his identity, neither space nor time can delimit that identity. We have to exalt our creator above everything that is created, above anything in that universe. This creator has made himself known to our great-grandparents, Adam and Eve, may Allah be pleased with them both, on the moment of their creation. He has sent a long chain of prophets and messengers to teach man the basics of the essence of life, including worshipping this supreme being in the way he has prescribed and playing our role as good vicegerents on earth. This great creator has actually created us to examine us, to test us, to test our capability of leading life on the surface of that planet in the way he has prescribed. Of course, he knows how every one of us will behave, yet he would like to document that behavior so that none of us will have an argument against his judgment on the day of judgment. To teach science in that context, we have, of course, to teach it in the mother tongue, because no man can excel in a language other than his or her mother tongue. We have to teach science with the understanding that all the scientific gainings are the wealth of humanity at large. Science has no nationality, has no certain color. Science is the wealth of humanity at large. Every generation, every nationality, every people with any tongue have actually contributed to the wealth of scientific knowledge we are enjoying these days. So we have to cherish all the scientific achievements of all people, of all times, of all places, and preserve it for the advancement of human knowledge. We have to take that scientific knowledge from its sources, regardless of the identity of that source. And we have, at the same time, emphasized the role of the Islamic civilization in the enrichment of the scientific knowledge, because this can encourage our own youngsters that they can excel in the same way our great-grandfathers have excelled. You see, the Islamic civilization has lasted for more than 10 centuries, has succeeded in the integration of this world with the world to come, have achieved many great successes in every sphere of life, in the area of mathematics, in the area of physics, in the area of astronomy, in the area of earth sciences and mining, in the area of chemistry, in the area of medicine, in the area of agriculture, in the area of engineering, in the area of technology, in the area of town planning. The Islamic civilization was a leading civilization to the present-day civilization. And actually, objective scholars from non-Muslim backgrounds can admit that clearly, that the current great scientific achievements emanated from within the Islamic civilization. So, in every discipline, we teach that discipline in the mother tongue, in Arabic, in the Arab world, in Urdu, or in Indian languages, in India. We have to teach it in the mother tongue, because no person can excel in a language other than the mother tongue. And we have to review the great contributions of early Muslim scholars, not to brag about that and live on these successes alone, but to encourage our young people that in as much as these great scholars have excelled in the past, we can achieve excellence in our own time. And from this knowledge of the Islamic civilization, the present wonderful Western civilization has emerged. But sadly enough, the Western civilization has taken only the material part from the Islamic civilization, and they left the supernatural aspects of the Islamic civilization, the belief in the one God, exalting that God above all his creation, believing that man is an honored creation of that great creator, and that man has got a mission on earth to worship his creator in the way the creator has prescribed, and to play his or her role on the surface of that planet as successfully as he or she can. We also have to spell out the scientific notions that came in the Quran and in the sayings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. First of all, to testify for every rational person that the Quran is the word of the Creator in its divine purity, and that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the seal of that long chain of prophets and messengers sent for the guidance of man from the Creator. We have also encouraged Muslim scholars to begin from a Quranic verse or from a saying of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and can establish a hypothesis, a scientific hypothesis, or a scientific theory from this notion in the Quran or in the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And in so doing, we can Islamize the teaching of science. We can put the teaching of science in its exact Islamic framework to avoid the copying of the Western style in teaching science, which has produced a very arrogant and very conceited type of people that can think that through science they can do anything, that they have become gods on earth. They can play with this world as much as they like. They can destroy whatever they like to destroy and build whatever they would like to build. We have to teach man to stand within his or her own dimensions. We are vicegerents on earth, entrusted with that planet. We have to preserve its environment and play our role during our length of existence on the surface of that planet as successfully as we can, and in the direction our Creator has planned for us. Modern scientific education has done man a great harm, has made people think that they are the owners of that universe. They can play around with it as much as they like, that they are the masters of that universe. And because of this, we find many innovations that have become absolutely harmful to the future of humanity, such as the weapons of mass destruction, such as the intensive industrialization which has polluted our environment, such as the many radioactive waste that's being dumped in different parts of the world and can seriously affect life on the surface of that planet. So going into the scientific domain without concrete belief in the Creator and concrete belief in the fact that we are held responsible for our actions and deeds in this life, without concrete belief that we will be questioned on the Day of Judgment about all our actions and deeds and achievements that planet, unless we teach our science students along these lines, we can keep producing scientists on the Western style that are arrogant, that are conceited, that have no limits to their behavior, that have no judgment to their behaviors, and can be very destructive elements on the surface of that planet. The world is suffering today from producing scientists who do not believe in the afterlife, who do not believe in the Creator, who do not believe in the fact that they will be questioned on the Day of Judgment. And I think it's high time for all science students in the world to learn how science can be taught within the framework of Islam and within the light of the great Islamic heritage. If we can do this in the Muslim world and can produce the example to be followed and emulated in the non-Muslim communities, I think we could do humanity a great deal of good and save humanity from a bleak future that is accumulating more and more weapons of mass destruction and more of material that can be absolutely harmful to the future of humanity. I'll stop here, hoping that the message is clear, wishing you the best and greeting you in our Islamic way. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace, blessings and mercy be with you all.